Ira, welcome. How are you?
Glad to be here. Mets, Marlins, never heard of them.
Well, that was embarrassing for the Mets. But let's get to important things here. I, for one, did not expect a 7-game series, but I never expected Wade and Bosch to play like this. How surprised are the Heat at their situation?
It's like we talked last week. We said as long as one of the two of them play well, they'd be fine. And neither of the two of them have played well. And as we spoke about with Dwayne Wade, he has a knee injury that I still expect some sort of release after the postseason to say Dwayne underwent surgery for this or that type of thing with the knee. So he's not Dwayne Wade. Right now, he's not even Iman Shumpert. He's just another NBA shooting guard, and Lance Stevenson has outplayed him, and that's been the key there. And with Chris Bosh, the Heat sort of put him in the parking lot early in the series. They said, stay outside, shoot jumpers, try to get West or Hibbert out of the paint. They basically made him a passive player, and now all of a sudden, a critical mass, Game 7, they're saying, be aggressive, be strong. That's a hard change for a player to make.
Tonight, Ira, is it will they go back to Wade and Bosh, or will it be a case, and I expect everything through LeBron, I expect a lot of LeBron post-up, I expect a lot of double teams. With that being the case, is it going to be a lot more Haslam tonight? Is it going to be a lot more supporting cast, or is it back to the big two behind LeBron tonight?
I think you'll see them try to get Wade going to the hoop early. I think you'll see them try to post up and play a bigger muscle game with Chris Bosh. But I don't think they'll stay with it too long like you might in a regular season where you have a long-term view. If it doesn't happen in the first 6 or 8 minutes, it'll be the LeBron show. We'll be back in Cleveland. We'll be back with LeBron last year in Game 6 in Boston when he had those 45 points in Game 6 to force the Game 7 that the Heat also won. They can't play around with this. They can't wait to see if Ray Allen or Shane Battier are going to hit shots. You'll see Mike Miller earlier. This is critical mass for the entire team, and they have to show it early, or Eric Spoelstra has to basically just look at every option and uncover every rock at this stage.
I look at games 3 and 5, which were the pivotal games where they were pressed. They won each game easy. Each game, should we expect more of that this evening, or is this tougher now?
This is different because this is their first elimination game of the series. The Pacers came through with flying colors Saturday in Game 6, but you look at the pressure situations. The Pacers are playing free and easy. Lance Stevenson is going to put up some crazy shots like he did in Game 6 against New York. They're in a different place. They have nothing to lose. They can take the bad shot, the wild run, or gamble for the steal. What's the worst that's going to happen? The Pacers go down in Game 7 in the East Finals, and they have a great future. There's going to be collective gasps in American Airlines Arena if Ray Allen misses an open three, if LeBron botches a jumper, if Dwayne Wade gets to the rim and can't finish. The amount of pressure in this building, I'd say, is going to be 80% on the Miami Heat. The Pacers, let's face it, after they beat the Knicks, they're playing with house money. The Heat right now is playing with house desperation.
Ira Winderman of Sun-Sentinel, the columnist who's covered the Heat forever. Now, did the Cleveland comments, did they sting his teammates?
No, they didn't. I think people were saying that they realized after that game, we can't have Cleveland LeBron. We can't make him do anything, everything. I think the comments that stung, were Dwayne Wade after Game 6 saying, we have to get me and Chris more involved. We can't have one guy willing the team on his own. I thought that came out of left field. I mean, Dwayne hardly has been good enough to demand equal billing with LeBron right now, nor has Chris Bosh. And for Dwayne to make it a case of touches, really, after 3 years of the Big Three, we're back at a point deciding who needs to get the ball more often? I thought those were the most telling quotes from the Heat side in this series.
So is there any issue there as far as any chemistry issues this evening that you would be worried about?
Yeah, there's huge issues there, especially if they lose, because you know how this cycle works. You'll be calling me back, and LeBron and Dwayne get together, right about their friendship and spending time together. Yeah, everything is at stake for these guys right now because of the multiple championship claims. But again, you see this all the time, Mike. A guy is a diminished player, is injured, isn't the same player, but refuses to accept or acknowledge that. That's where Dwayne is right now. Maybe it's a minor thing that gets passed in the summer. Maybe it's surgical. But the bottom line is Dwayne's not the same player, but we we see it all the time. Guys still think they are the same players, and that's a very rude comeuppance they have to deal with.
Haslam and Anderson have been very, very good. I mean, and Anderson was very stupid, which is what he is. I mean, listen, that's why he's Anderson. He does things like that. We know that. I mean, guys do stuff like that. But how important do you make Haslam, especially Haslam, in this game tonight?
Well, again, Udonis is a confident player. I mean, Udonis has shown in the series either he is 8 for 9 from the field or 0 for 6. There's not a lot in between. Again, those gasps. The ball goes to Udonis. 16 feet baseline. He puts up the first shot. That could be the entire game for him. If he makes it, his confidence is maximum. If he misses it, the entire crowd is groaning. Those early shots for Udonis are huge because he's been such a difference maker in the games. And for Birdman, that's one advantage for the Heat. They were in a 4-point game with about 7 minutes to go in Game 6. You factor in they are adding a different piece to this equation. They're getting him back. He has been a difference maker in this series. He hasn't missed a shot in this series. So that's something that definitely helps strengthen the Heat tonight.